Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Granger Defined. Today we have our last student episode for 2014 and we're kind of sad, but we saved one of the best students we have here at Granger for last, Kevin Castaneda, who is the class valedictorian for 2014. So Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely, we're excited to have you. Now, we know you're super smart and you're a brainiac, but one of the things that comes with class valedictorian is you have to write a speech for graduation, right? And we like to play games with everyone that comes on the show at the beginning, and usually I do all the games, but today we're going to let the man who has not seen, ever, he's always behind the camera, Paul, run the show. And for our game, we're going to help you write your speech for graduation. So go ahead, Paul's going to explain, and I'm going to let him take over for a little bit.
Okay, we're going to do Mad Lib style. So I'm going to ask you some questions, you give me some answers, and then we'll plug them into this speech that I've written out, okay? How would you describe, if there was a group of people and there were, I'm kind of describing it, but in mass panic or like a confusion, what's another adjective that you could use to describe that kind of situation?
Chaos.
It's a good one. I don't know if I would come up with that one.
Ooh. Now, if I don't spell these right, don't make fun of me, okay?
He wasn't valedictorian.
Okay. What is the most embarrassing thing that could happen to someone in high school?
Fall in the halls.
That was pretty embarrassing, especially if you fell into food.
Did you have a story about that in high school?
No, I don't. We'll talk about mine. Never mind. Continue the game, Paul. I fell. It was kind of in the halls. It wasn't in the halls. I fell in the bathroom stall, passed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds intense.
It was. I was really sick that day. We were watching The Miracle of Life. Anyway, Paul, go ahead.
So, what is the weirdest lesson you've ever had from a teacher? Or the weirdest, the weirdest thing that a teacher's ever done?
That I've seen?
Yeah.
They told
Just the strangest thing you can imagine that a teacher would do.
would do. Just leave class and not come back.
Leave class and not come back. Yeah, that would be pretty strange. We had a teacher kind of do that once. She was later let go. Paul and I went to high school together. I guess we should explain. We were classmates.
Okay. Pick a teacher. Give me a name of a teacher.
Parish.
Excellent. Do you have her this year?
Yes.
It's happened good.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the life goal of a hippie? What would you say?
To be rad.
That's a good one.
Okay. What is a good skill that you would learn in kindergarten? What do you think is the coolest thing about kindergarten?
Crayons. Crayons.
That is one time we melted our crayons and made an art piece. I remember that. That's the only thing I remember from kindergarten.
Okay, give me the name of another teacher.
Clausen.
Has that been enjoyable?
Yes.
Okay. What is the most disappointing moment or maybe disappointing thing that a friend has ever done, or the worst prank somebody's pulled on you? An unhappy moment caused by a friend.
I'm not happy.
Don't want to bring up bad memories here, but
I'm a little worried about the speech.
I would have to say being hit by a basketball.
He threw the basketball at you?
Yeah.
That is pretty messed up. That is room for fighting there. That's an action that is not good. I'm really excited. You do not have to use this speech at graduation. Maybe. This could turn out to be amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing this.
okay, I hope you can read this. Okay, so this is only the introduction. I'll give you the name of a friend of yours.
Braden.
Braden?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the last sentence is not finished because it'll be your transition to the next part. So let me just tell you right there. That's all.
So what we're gonna have you do now that you have your speech written out is you will look at the camera. We're gonna have Paul go back to his normal job as the camera. I'm just kidding, Paul.
So that's all one sentence, and this is all one sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and stand and read that for us.
And you're gonna look into the camera, and here we go.
All right. Today I stand before you, today, knowing that this chaotic class of 2014, I'm sure that we will never forget the time that I fell flat on my face in the hallway. But let's put that behind us and focus on how Miss Parrish walks out during class all the time. On second thought, let's not talk about that. Let me tell you about my life. My life goal is to be rad. This school has put me on the right path to accomplish this. I'm so grateful for Mr. Clausen for teaching me how to use crayons, and for Braden for building my character when he smashed my face with a basketball. You all have taught me so much.
And that's
And
that is the introduction of the speech, class of 2014. You know, feel free to use that. I think it's brilliant. That is poetry. But if you don't feel the need to use that during your speech on graduation day, that's okay too. So we appreciate that. We're going to transfer into the interview now. So if you want to go ahead and take a seat, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. Okay. Well, that was fun. We appreciate you being willing to play a game with us. Kevin's like, it's a good thing I'm graduating and you guys can't ask me to do this ever again. But we wanted to just kind of talk to you just a little bit and start, we got to laugh a little bit. I had a few fun questions for you, and then we're going to do some more serious questions. We're going to talk a little bit about, what it took to be valedictorian, how you managed to balance everything out, with being just a high school student and a kid and having fun with all of your academic success. But first, I got to know you a little bit before we started the interview, and I asked you if you could crossbreed any animal to form one super animal, what animals would you crossbreed?
A bear and a lion.
Okay, and I love this. What's the name of that animal?
Forte.
Forte. Do you want to translate that for us? Strong, right? Strength. It would be strength. The bear lion. Okay. If you could crossbreed two cars, what cars would that be, and what would you name that car?
Camaro and a Mustang.
Okay, and what would the name of the car
The
be?
Demolisher.
The Demolisher. The Camaro and the Mustang Demolisher. Okay, I love it. Okay, now going into kind of some more serious questions. You have been working for 4 years, really, since your freshman year to be valedictorian. It's not something that's simple. Could you just kind of describe, was that a goal for you since you were a freshman, or how has it come? How hard did you have to work to get there?
Well, I guess I have to say it all started back in elementary when I wasn't doing very good in school. I'd be the kid, getting D's and B's and C's, not really any A work. I remember one day my mom just, sat me down and told me, hey, you got to get good grades. You're going to need it. You can't be like me and your father, you have to strive for more, work harder. And so after that, I decided that, I need to do that. So I started getting all A's as much as possible, trying to get involved and try to be the best I could be in school. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And you really have gotten involved. I mean, let's see, you're taking how many AP classes this year alone?
This year? 4.
4. And then your junior year?
I took 3.
3. So, I mean, we have more than 7 AP classes total.
Yes.
Did you take one in your sophomore year
Yes.
as well? So, I mean, that's incredible. So you've gotten involved, but then you're also a member of the Latinos in Action Club, which goes out and helps the community. And you got involved in track. So how have you balanced, trying to do extracurricular activities like that, academics and high school sports? Has that been difficult?
Yes, it has been at times, but I've managed to balance it in a way where I kind of look at all the possibilities and think, okay, well, which one would benefit me more? Which one would benefit more to other people? Mm-hmm. So that's how I balance it out to me.
Wow. Okay, so you're thinking about other people. Speaking of which, I asked you if you could start a charity, and I thought this was a really interesting answer because I've never heard anybody answer this way, and I've asked this question quite a few times. If you could start a charity, what would that charity do?
If I could start a charity, it would have to be to help those kids that don't have that technology that people like around the community that others have, that they have a higher technology, and so they feel like they can study or do more things with it, like help them in school. And I feel like those kids kind of feel like in a way limited to what they can do. So I think it would help them a lot.
See, I think that's impressive, and I just thought that was interesting because you just mentioned how you ordered your goals around about what benefits you and what benefits the most people. And so when I asked that question about what kind of charity you start, I thought that was a really interesting answer. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Before we close, we want to ask you a question that we ask to everyone that comes on the show, and it is if you could give one message to the Granger community and to Granger High School. It could be simple, and I know you're going to give a message to them at graduation, but right now if you could give a message, and it could be as simple as look both ways before you cross the street, or it could be something a little bit more deep, what would you say? What would be your message to the Granger community?
I'd have to say it would be keep fighting and stay together.
Keep fighting and stay together.
Yeah.
Strength in numbers. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on. And before we close, I just want to remind everyone watching to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, Kevin, thanks very much. We appreciate your time.